Welcome, everyone. I'm Newman from TESOL Kuwait, and today we're going to explore how artificial intelligence, or AI, can enhance critical thinking and problem-solving skills in language learners. Psychologist John Piaget once said, "The principal goal of education in a school should be creating men and women who are creative, inventive, and discoverers, who can be critical and verify and not accept everything they are offered." In 2018, the Reboot Foundation released a first-of-its-kind survey looking at the public's attitudes toward critical thinking and critical thinking in education. The report found that critical thinking skills are highly valued, but aren't taught or practiced as much as might be hoped for in schools or in public life. There's a broad support among the public and teachers for critical thinking in education, both at the K through 12 and collegiate levels. For example, 90% think courses covering critical thinking should be required in K through 12. Many respondents, in fact, 43%, also identified early childhood as the best age to develop critical thinking skills. This was a big increase from a previous survey where just 20% did, and it's consistent with the general consensus among social scientists and psychologists. I think that's why we're here today. We want to foster our students' critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Most of us could define problem-solving skills, but what about the term critical thinking? Maybe describing what it is not will help. It's not evaluating data at face value. It's not accumulating facts and knowledge. It's not something that can be learned once and used forever. It's not directed solely at solving problems. So let's see, what is the definition that we can work with?
Welcome to our exploration of thinking styles with English language educator Sanju Pradeep. Today, we delve into the world of critical versus non-critical thinking. Let's begin by understanding non-critical thinking. This approach focuses on gathering information and facts, often overlooking the implications of the data. It's like skimming the surface of a vast ocean, collecting shells without diving deeper to discover the treasures beneath. Now, contrast this with critical thinking. Here, the focus shifts to a deeper analysis of data and its implications. Critical thinking demands a thorough examination from all angles, ensuring a comprehensive understanding before drawing conclusions. Imagine diving into that ocean, exploring its depths to uncover hidden insights and meaningful connections. Sanju Pradeep highlights a key difference: the level of focus and analysis required. Non-critical thinking often settles for surface-level observations, while critical thinking challenges you to question, analyze, and synthesize information. This deeper dive not only enhances understanding, but also fosters innovation and problem solving. As we compare these two styles, consider the limitations of non-critical thinking. It may lead to incomplete conclusions and missed opportunities for growth. In contrast, critical thinking opens doors to new perspectives and informed decision-making. In conclusion, while non-critical thinkers gather facts without much scrutiny, critical thinkers engage in a profound exploration of data, leading to insightful and impactful conclusions.
In other words, critical thinkers analyze available facts, evidence, observations, and arguments in order to form a judgment by application of rational, skeptical, and unbiased analyses and evaluation. Okay, using AI in our classroom can significantly significantly enhance the development of critical thinking skills among our students. And here are 5 reasons why. Well, personalized learning. AI can tailor learning experiences to meet individual student needs, identifying areas where they struggle and providing targeted support. This helps students develop problem-solving skills by addressing their specific challenges. Second, engaged learning. AI tools can create interactive and engaging learning environments. For example, AI-driven simulations and games can present complex scenarios that require students to apply critical thinking to solve problems. Data-driven insights. AI can analyze student performance data to provide insights into their learning patterns. This allows us to adjust our teaching strategies to better support critical thinking development. Fourth, real-world applications. AI can introduce students to real-world problems and scenarios, encouraging them to think critically about solutions. This prepares them for future challenges and enhances their analytical skills. Finally, adaptive feedback. AI systems can provide immediate and adaptive feedback, helping students understand their mistakes and learn from them. This continuous feedback loop is crucial for developing critical thinking. At this point, we may be asking, this sounds great, but does it work? Studies do confirm that using AI in the classroom can develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills. On the screen, you see a list of authors of recent studies confirming this. However, in the interest of time, I'm going to summarize only the findings of 2 of these studies. First, Noreen and Jerry in 2024 stated, adaptive learning platforms powered by AI can tailor educational content to individual student needs, allowing for personalized instruction that addresses specific strengths and weaknesses. These platforms can provide real-time feedback, guiding students through problem-solving processes and fostering analytical skills. Additionally, AI-driven simulations and interactive scenarios can immerse students in complex, dynamic environments, encouraging them to apply critical thinking to solve real-world problems. In 2024, Wu found that ChatGPT can provide immediate, tailored assistance to students. In a classroom setting, teachers might not always be available to offer one-on-one help to every student. ChatGPT can fill this gap by offering personalized support and feedback, ensuring that each student receives the attention necessary to understand complex concepts. This individualized assistance is a cornerstone of scaffolding, helping students progress at their own pace and according to their unique learning needs. Furthermore, ChatGPT can adapt its level of support based on the student's responses. For beginners in a subject, it can simplify explanations, break down concepts into more manageable parts, and provide basic examples. ChatGPT can introduce more complex ideas as students advance, challenge them with higher level questions, and encourage deeper thinking. This adaptive nature of ChatGPT aligns with the principle of gradually reducing scaffolding as learners become more competent. Another significant advantage of using ChatGPT as a scaffolding tool is its accessibility. It can be accessed anytime and anywhere, providing continuous learning opportunities outside the classroom. This 24/7 availability allows students to seek help when needed, facilitating learning not confined to school hours. This constant availability helps maintain the learning momentum, and that's crucial for building and solidifying new knowledge and skills. Okay, now let's turn our attention to 5 suggestions for using AI in the classroom. Interactive exercises, NLP, AI chatbots, virtual debate platforms, and my favorite, group projects. Let's start with interactive exercises. AI can create personalized learning experiences. For example, adaptive learning platforms like Duolingo adjust the difficulty of exercises based on student performance. These exercises also challenge students to think critically by presenting scenarios that require thoughtful responses. For example, an AI-powered language app might present a story with missing words, prompting students to choose the correct words based on context. AI can also simulate real-world problems, encouraging students to apply their language skills in practical context. An example is a simulation where students must navigate a virtual city, asking for directions and solving problems in the target language. There's a plethora of interactive platforms. Today, I'm just going to highlight 2 free ones, Quizlet and Duolingo. The first one, Quizlet, can be used to create your own vocabulary flashcards and tests, or you can use ones already in their resources. And here you can see this is one they just go through, and this was for classroom commands. And they see the picture again, they try to guess that it means raise your hand, and they can get a hint, and then they can flip the card. Duolingo is a popular free language learning app that offers lessons in over 40 languages, including English. It uses a gamified approach to making learning fun and engaging, incorporating elements like points, levels, and streaks to motivate users. For English language learners, Duolingo provides bite-sized lessons that cover speaking, reading, listening, and writing skills. The app's interactive exercises and quizzes help build vocabulary and grammar proficiency. Additionally, Duolingo's adaptive learning technology personalizes lessons based on the user's progress, ensuring that learners are continually challenged and are at an appropriate level. Now, here are some tips for using Duolingo in your classroom. Remember, it's free. First of all, assign Duolingo as homework. This would be one thing that you could do. You can also use Duolingo as a bell ringer. You could start or end your class with a quick Duolingo activity. This can help settle your students at the beginning of a class or help keep them engaged until the end. 3, create class competitions. They have points that you get, and you can do a friendly competition. You can reward students or teams who earn the most points in a week. And finally, you could use Duolingo for early finishers. Allow students who finish their work early to use Duolingo. This keeps them engaged and provides additional language practice. Now, let's look at natural language processing, which is NLP tools. NLP tools, like the most famous that most of us know, Grammarly, can analyze student-written essays or responses and provide detailed feedback on grammar, coherence, and style. For example, a student might submit an essay and would receive feedback highlighting passive voice usage, suggesting more active constructions. Okay, and we have critical thinking. By receiving AI-generated feedback, students can reflect on their writing and identify areas for improvement. An example is shown here. Analyzing feedback on essay structure helps students understand how to build stronger arguments. These tools offer problem-solving strengtheners. These tools can highlight common errors and suggest corrections, helping students problem-solving strategies for their writing. An example would be a tool that identifies frequent comma splices and offers solutions to fix them. Here are more. You might use it for text summarization. There's a tool like Hugging Face that can transform long text into summaries so that the students can practice condensing information and identifying key points. However, I found that an easier NLP tool to use is Microsoft Bing's Copilot. An example is a student would use a text summarization tool to condense a lengthy article into a concise summary, focusing on the main ideas and arguments. Sentiment analysis. Tools like Vader can analyze the sentiment of student-written text, providing insights into tone and emotional content. The example, a student could write a persuasive essay and the sentiment analysis tool would identify the overall tone as positive, neutral, or negative. And this would help the student understand the emotional impact of his or her writing. Language translation. Google Translate uses NLP to provide translations, allowing students to compare their translations with AI-generated ones and learn from discrepancies. An example, a student translates a paragraph from Arabic to English and compares it with the AI-generated translation to identify and correct any errors. Now, here is an example of using Copilot, which is Bing's thing, to summarize one of my childhood books that I loved, Little House in the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder. And you notice that for my prompt, I just wrote summarize plus, and then I put in the name of the article or the book, and I could do a play, and then the author's name. So I could have put summarizing Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew, and it would have done that. So very simple prompt. And as I say, I use Copilot a lot. It's really good. Now let's look at the chat bots. They can encourage students in conversations, providing instant feedback and corrections. Okay, and I put the ones that are the free ones up there first, like ChatGPT, Talk English is free, and those are very good. And here is an example. You can see that it starts out with, "Hi, I want to improve my English. Can you help me?" That is the prompt. And then the chat bot replies back and asks, "How was your day today?" And I would put, "It was good, but I have many works to do." Notice what chatbot does. The chatbot says, "I'm glad to hear your day was good." Instead of saying many works, it's more natural to say a lot of work. So you could say, "It was good, but I have a lot of work to do." Okay, and then continuing the chat there. Our next one are the virtual debate platforms. And KLO, sorry, Hello EDU is one of my favorites. Well, first of all, it's free. I'm the queen of free. But it also is easy to use and it allows students to participate in debates, enhancing their argumentation skills. For instance, students might debate a topic like, should homework be mandatory? And then the AI will provide feedback on their arguments. So I would learn critical thinking skills. It would help develop them. Debating with AI forces students to consider different perspectives and construct well-reasoned arguments. Okay, because the AI would challenge the students' points and ask them to defend their positions with evidence. Also, problem-solving skills are strengthened because these platforms present challenges that require quick thinking and effective communication, because it would pose an unexpected question, that you can't just memorize the answer to. The students have to think on their feet. Also, argument mapping can enhance critical thinking by developing reasoning, communication, and analysis skills. For example, there are different online tools that facilitate argument mapping, like Rationale, ArguNet, or Debate Graph. And you can use these to create the different ones. Okay. As I said, my favorite one is Kalo because it's free. And here it goes. I could also use Google Meet and Microsoft Teams because these platforms can be used to host virtual debates with features like breakout rooms for smaller group discussions. Okay, here is a look at the free app, Kialo.
Learning on Kialo takes place in discussion. At the top, in blue, is the thesis, the topic you want your students to engage with. Students add claims as either pros or cons to develop the discussion. Pros support the claim directly above, while cons weaken it. Generally, we recommend that each claim should consist of a single focused point. Students and teachers can comment on these claims to ask questions or suggest edits. As students add claims, they create a visual representation of an argument, which can be viewed as either a tree of claims or a sunburst. Time to get.
So that's a brief overview. Now, you can also use apps for group projects because if you assign group projects that involve real world language challenges, this can foster collaboration and critical thinking. For instance, a project where students create a marketing campaign for a product in the target language, because it's got these AI tools will be used to research, analyze data, and present their findings. For example, using AI translation tools might ensure a campaign is culturally appropriate and linguistically accurate. Develops critical thinking and problem solving. Working on real-world problems encourages students to think critically and develop practical solutions. And for instance, you might use the app to identify and address potential cultural misunderstandings in a campaign. And here are several platforms, ChatGPT free, MindMaster free, and Vizsla, which creates videos are free. I listed all three of these because they are free. Now, I've created a sample project, and this shows that I've used ChatGPT to create the different steps for the research project that I wanted. And it's a research project where students research different sources of misinformation such as social media, news outlets, and word of mouth, because they want to learn about the common tactics used to spread this misinformation. And they're going to try to help their peers. And see, it's got all of the different steps. It can even make you a rubric. You can request that to do. Now, and I didn't show that, but here is the mind map. And this was with MindMaster, and the students had first read The Future of Lying. And here it's got the major people who lie online and why they do. Here is the video that the students made after they had researched, and they just put in the prompt.
In today's digital age, misinformation is more prevalent than ever, posing a significant challenge for students and educators alike. What are the sources of this misinformation? Let's explore the three major liars that spread falsehoods online: the butler, the sock puppet, and the Chinese water. First, we have the butler. This source represents the well-meaning friend or acquaintance who unknowingly shares incorrect information. Often, they believe they're helping, but their lack of fact-checking can lead to widespread deception. Next, the sock puppet, a deceptive online persona created to manipulate humans. These fake identities are used to sway public perception, often by amplifying false narratives. Finally, the Chinese water army, a term for organized groups that flood the internet with misleading content. These groups are often paid to promote specific agendas, making it difficult for genuine information to surface. The impact of these sources is profound. Misinformation can shape opinions, influence decisions, and even alter the course of events. It creates a ripple effect, where one false piece of information can lead to widespread misunderstanding. Understanding these sources is crucial in combating misinformation. By recognizing the butler, sock puppet, and the Chinese water army, we can better navigate the digital landscape and promote a culture of truth and accuracy. As students and educators, staying informed and critical is our best defense against the spread of misinformation. Together, we can foster an environment where truth prevails over deception. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of misinformation and its sources.
Okay, so we've looked at the different ways that we can use, or different platforms that we can use. But I want to end with just a caution. Before we choose to use AI, make sure that it supports rather than replaces the thinking process. Okay. Also, does it actually align with the way the brain works? Because remember, sometimes instead of typing something in, the brain remembers and functions better if the hand has to write. So if I would have an exercise where the students could be writing this, I wouldn't use, for instance, if I were summarizing, I would have them write their summaries before they would use AI to compare their summary to what the AI app had generated. Also, make sure that we're using it ethically. You want to make sure your students understand how to use AI ethically. And is it developmentally appropriate? Don't just use AI because of the whistles and bells and everything, but is it the ones that you are using, are they appropriate for your students in their developmental stages? And finally, only you can do it. You know your students. Are they ready to use AI responsibly? Thank you again for joining me. I am so glad that you were here.